Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Congratulations on anyone who has a long position open on Bitcoin right now. It's definitely looking strong. I expected to come into this range. I was honestly expecting the price to slowly hit this level, but instead it's kind of just blasting straight through. So that's good and bad. We'll talk about that and why that's relevant. But more importantly to altcoins, like instant knee-jerk reaction. As soon as we came up to that 69.8 level, most altcoins recovered 5%. So amazing stuff here. Key takeaway is that Bitcoin dominance is now plummeting, and we can see, of course, altcoins making a run for it. So there's a good chance that may continue if Bitcoin can sustain this level. We're going to double check and see. If that is the case, it may consider closing some shorts, but none of those have been validated yet. In fact, our long position has actually come through. Take a look at this here. Nice little 30% if you round up a little bit there for Bitcoin in the last 4 days. And if we take a look at our Premium Plus, our day trades, franking on all cylinders. Chainlink, Cardano, ICP, Matic, and then so I think there was also, there it is, a BNB trade as well. So a lot of these good little trades coming in here in the last couple of hours. So day trades are working well. Swing trades still figuring it out. It's not the greatest swing trade environment right now, folks, but the key takeaway here is that we're going to look at the back-end data and see if there's any more liquidation to be swept and if the price is going to pull back or if it's going to continue higher. Generally speaking, it takes a little while to reclaim a previous resistance, and that's where we're at here. So we got to build that good base, but if we do look at the last 7 days, every last ounce of liquidation has been swept if you exclude the shorts that occurred here in the last like 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so you zoom in here, pretty much anybody shorting Bitcoin, upwards of 70,000 just got taken out. And I mentioned that earlier today too, if you saw my shorts, my YouTube shorts, or just TikTok, Twitter, Telegram, whatever. I basically talked about the potential of the price action pulling back here and that Bitcoin's looking pretty strong to the upside. Now, the important thing to recognize too is if we do take a look at the charts here from before, we can see all this liquidation here has been fully swept. So the likelihood of the price action going higher from here is lower, but it doesn't mean it's going to drop hard because again, this is an area that's we're seeing a lot of volume flowing in too. So again, the delta is pretty high from earlier today. Let's actually take a look and see where that's at now. It is extremely high. Well, we went from 3 to 5 billion in liquidation long delta. What that basically just means there's 5 billion more worth of liquidation, if you will, in longs versus shorts. So it just implies that longs have a target on their back, but it also tells us here that longs are essentially controlling the price action right now. It makes sense. We can see that here right now. So great stuff in one way. Not so much the other. Really depends on what side of the market you're on. But let's take a look at the daily, work our way down. If you want to know a little more about the macro analysis, I would recommend watching my earlier video from today because I do talk about the weekly and larger time frames there. But we'll just go ahead and focus on the daily for the moment and recognize that we're still bullish. Nothing's changed here. Essentially still above all moving averages, and the RSI is looking to be in pretty good shape. While I don't love the fact the money flow index is pretty low, that's generally like a slightly bearish sign. That could mean that this push here isn't substantial. Because if you look at the amount of volume that we're seeing here, it's kind of a little less than the overall. However, today's volume looks pretty good, obviously, and if you don't want to include a weekend too, because that's kind of throws things off. But the easy way to takeaway here is that MACD's converging, stochastic swinging up. We got a lot of reasons why the price action is going further here. Now, are we going to see a run to 71, 72, 73, even 74K, the all-time high for Bitcoin? Possibly. I think it's less likely, but it is still possible. At least right away. We got to build that foundation at that resistance, which we're seeing right now, before we go any further. But the key takeaway here is, again, Bitcoin dominance is starting to pull back. Again, you got to look on the smaller time frames, and you can recognize that that's a positive sign for altcoins for the moment. Okay, so don't get too crazy ahead of yourself, but generally speaking, Bitcoin's looking pretty solid. 4-hour time frame, we're above all moving averages. We talked about that earlier, being a positive, still honoring our ascending trend. And of course, RSI, we broke above 70 on the RSI. So generally speaking, at this point, if you have a long position open with Bitcoin, such as the long we took a few days ago for our community, I would recommend leaving it open at this point until the RSI comes back down under 70. You have no reason to consider selling. It's considered to be a break of a resistance, and the price could continue to run. Again, we can see it's a breakthrough resistance, but it's not really holding above. We're seeing a lot of selling pressure at 70K. That's just a big, large round number, and most of the time you will see price action slow down at those key resistances. Taking a look at the hourly, this is also going to confirm there's no reason to consider shorting Bitcoin, even though it's very tempting to want to short 70,000, and we might actually find some success doing that. The odds are against you, all right? So generally not a favorable consideration there. Now, taking a look at some altcoins perhaps that might be coming up to their key level resistance and or performing poorly compared to Bitcoin, like most altcoins were looking like this morning, but now they're not. That might be a consideration for a short, but it doesn't make any sense to short Bitcoin at this exact moment. Okay, so kind of where we're at there. Again, pretty much expected. I expected the price to continue higher, albeit I didn't expect to see 70K today, but this is a nice little bonus, right? Hit our second profit target on our Bitcoin trade, and all of our day trades are firing pretty strong. So congrats to everybody for that. Future reference too, make sure you check out Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Link down below for these guys. Excellent exchange. Highly recommend utilizing them. We got a nice exclusive deposit bonus for the next 2 days until the month's over. So take advantage there, folks, if you can, and be on the lookout for our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. That'll be coming here shortly. Thank you so much for your time. Look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good day. Take care.